Okay, we're going to practice standing again, but this time we're going to use a couple more props. And even though we're using props, this one is tough. This one's tough. So, but it's really good. You get a real understanding of what the thoracic spine, the middle back is supposed to do, that you must engage the legs in order to really maintain a good standing posture. So it really forces you to think about some areas that you might be letting go when you're on the floor or in the standing with just a block in between your legs. Okay, so what you're going to need for this one is you're going to need, again, a strap and a block, but you're going to need 2 blocks. So just make sure that you have 2 soft blocks. And here we go. So what you're going to do is this block, the first block, is going to go on the sacrum. So the sacrum is that bone part that's on the pelvis butt area. Do not put this block on the lumbar spine, not the lumbar spine, on the sacrum. Okay, that's very important. And what this block down here is reminding you to do is it's reminding you to bring the upper bum away from the lumbar spine. That's super important for many people. Even just learning to bring the upper bum away from the back saves lumbar spines. So this is an action that you must engage in, and then your back guaranteed will feel better. Okay. So again, what I'm doing is putting that block on the sacrum for the model here, and now we're going to go in the legs actions again. So feet together, big toes to touch. It's really important to actually think about the foundation. So we start from the bottom. So it's, if one foot's going out sideways or this way or that, it's worthwhile to look down and see what your feet are doing. So as best you can, feet together, big toes to touch. Tighten the kneecap, draw the kneecap up. Basically, it's engaging the quad. Press the front thigh to the back thigh, because again, some people do this and they need to learn to stand on their legs and press the front thigh to the back thigh. Spin the upper inner thigh in. So this action you're going to do on your own without the help of a block, reminding you to roll the upper inner thigh in. Compact the hip. Then we are engaging that upper bum away from the back. But this block is helping to maintain that. Okay, so this next block, you're going to put it in a vertical direction. The other one was in a perpendicular, or whatever, this orientation, perpendicular, vertical to the floor. I'm not sure which way you guys are thinking about it. Irrelevant. Anyways, it goes this way. Put this one this way, and it's going to go in between the shoulder blades. And for many, this is enough. You're going to feel it. It's like, whoa, holy smokes, that's a lot of work. And you might feel a little bit of pressure in your shins. If that's really overwhelming, just take a couple little micro steps forward. Sometimes you need to do that in the beginning. Is it really bothering you, or can you handle it? You can handle it. Okay, so it just reminds you like, whoa, I really need to work my legs when I'm doing this pose. And is this a lot of work right now? Yes, it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll those shoulder blades open. This is a closed shoulder. This is a tight shoulder. What we need to work on is actually rolling that sucker open. And so it's a lot of work. And in the beginning, sometimes you might not even, like, you can see it's closed and you might want to roll it back, but it's not going. Just keep thinking about rolling it back, and eventually, like weeks to months to sometimes years, it will eventually do what you're intending it to do. But don't give up. It's amazing how eventually it does shift. You just got to keep practicing. Okay, so you're going to roll those shoulders open, and you bring the shoulder blades back and down, and then you just ultimately let it go. And then you press these front ribs in. So it's as if you're trying to fit through a narrow arrow. So if we let the front ribs go, what happens? Let them go. The whole complex eventually falls, right? So the whole point is to, that's what it's teaching you, is to maintain that integrity. So let's get this organized again. This one over here and this one over here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get your strap again. So if it's the same width that you just had, great. Don't change the width or the orientation. I might have actually just stepped on that. So let's put this arms on here again. I might have loosened it accidentally just right now. And again, you're going to put the strap just below the shoulders, and to make sure that they're shoulder width apart. That does look a little narrow. If you have, oops, That might be, that's pretty good. So if you have tight shoulders, how do you know if you have tight shoulders? Well, they're rolling in, and even if you put your arms straight, there's this soft bend that's happening. When we were doing the leg exercises and the people have that soft bend in the knee, it's when their hamstrings and low backs are very, very tight. In this case, when the shoulders are very tight, people will get this soft bend in the arm. So it's actually, you got to straighten this out first to get this to work better. So it's a bit more work if you're already at this point. So go wider, just a little bit wider, and make sure that the eye of the elbow is pushing forward. So again, it's not really a ligament lock. This bicep is working to open and you're lengthening from the forearm down to the wrist, but moving that eye of the elbow in, the eye of the elbow in, and to open this up. That's very important of step one. So we've got a model here that's really good, so she doesn't have that issue. These are not bending when she has her arms straight. So then plug in the shoulders again. That's really critical, plugging in the shoulders. And now we're going to slowly, very slowly go up. And as she's going up, these legs are fiercely working to prevent that action from going into the lumbar spine. You're going to press these front ribs back, because if you don't and you let the action go, this block is going to fall, and that's how you know that you've gone too far. And then see, so we can't quite get the arms up as high. This happens to me as well, and then I know that I must be cheating someplace when I'm standing or practicing. It's because this one really prevents you from doing any cheating. So what you're doing is your triceps over the biceps action. It's a subtle movement, but that's what you want to work towards. Tricep over the bicep, tricep over the bicep. Open up this armpit chest area. Press the front ribs in. If you let it go, what happens? So go, like, let this, there, that's what happens. So you know that you've gone too far. You've let the action go into your lumbar spine, and you can bring your arms down. And then you're going to work. Ultimately, the work is to get here, but if you can't get there, no worries. That's just work with the strap. So hit out against the strap as best you can, and that will take some pressure off. And the whole point is to just make sure that these front ribs stay pressing back, so that the shoulder blades are pressing into the lumbar spine, into the spine, and the front ribs are pressing back. So you have this agonist-antagonist motion going on, and really keeping the spine nice and straight and lengthen it, not letting it curve all over the place. This one's great. It's difficult, but it's a really good one to practice proper posture while standing. Okay.